to continue to press the case here for County Meath with you for a very simple reason. It has been left behind when it comes to the very core principle of the deployment of resources, and the figures from Meath clearly show that. And I have stated in my earlier conversations with you, I'm in here not trying to score political points with you, but articulating the real concerns of the Chief Super, Fergus Healy, who has stated his call for resources publicly and is crying out for assistance in County Meath in terms of the need for additional resources. I've brought the shocking incidents of crime 2 occasions to 2 different Garda commissioners this year at the Public Accounts Committee, conscious of the fact that they have the actual legitimate power for the deployment of resources. But we need to look at this, and I'm seeking for you to engage with me in a fresh way and look at this with fresh eyes, because the traditional way of allocation resources by commissioners has not reflected the changes in settlement patterns. As a result, places like Navan, Trim, Old Castle and Boy are left under-resourced, and our work in terms of the Dáil in creating the settlement patterns on the eastern coast has to then reflect the actual pressures these places are under, and conscious of the fact that the traditional methods of resourcing is not doing the job. I'm not a guard, I'm a politician. But I hear what the Chief Super, who is a professional, is saying on behalf of our county, and saying it quite clearly. And I'm not disputing the progress that we have made. It's why I attended the launch of the consultation paper on the process of the future policing in the country with Kathleen O'Toole and the Minister who spoke, and I listened clearly to his words. But if those words account for something in terms of how the guards that come out of Templemore are utilised on the ground, we have to see them done in the best way. Because when we see the deployment on the ground, we do get results. But the threats of gangs and their wanton disregard for life is a very real threat in my county of Meath. Just last Saturday morning, we had the body of a young man in his 20s found dead in Dunboyne with a bullet through his head. And I saw the former Taoiseach John Bruton there in the gallery, and he lives in that village, and he knows the threat. And I know that my colleague, local councillor Damien O'Reilly, articulated very well the fears of the local people in our county when that man was found with a bullet through his head last Saturday morning, and the threats in our county posed by the ganglands that are operating. And so we are dealing with these types of high-level crime experience in the city. We need to see the resources for counties like Meath to combat them.